Well, thousands of Australians are demanding that the Queensland Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk not be given an exemption to travel to the Tokyo Olympics in just a couple of weeks' time. Georgia Simpson joins us now for the very latest details. And thousands of people have signed on to this petition, Georgia. I'm sure she'll be asked about it at her media conference at 10 a.m. this morning as well.
Good morning, Laura. That's right. There's more than 25,000 signatures now. Yesterday there were less than 10,000, so it's more than doubled in just under 24 hours. Now, the petition has been started by stranded Australians. Whether that's a group of people or just a single person, we're not quite sure, but it is specifically addressed to the Australian Border Force, and it's calling for the Premier's travel exemption to Japan for a business trip be denied. Now we know the Premier will be travelling to Tokyo in just a few short weeks to present to the International Olympics Committee, and it said that this meeting is vital in securing the Olympics for Brisbane in 2032. Now, when the Premier returns to Australia, she said that she would be going into 14 days of hotel quarantine, and it's this detail that has really angered signatories. They're saying that she's stealing precious quarantine space from a stranded Australian. We know that at National Cabinet just recently, international arrivals will be cut by 50%, and that was, of course, lobbied very hard by Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk, and of course it did receive support from other premiers, especially considering that there have been a few COVID leaks in hotel quarantine in recent weeks. Now, the Premier's office has defended her trip to Tokyo. In a statement, they said, "The Premier is going to Tokyo to secure the world's biggest event, triggering one of the biggest single jobs and infrastructure deals the state has ever seen." Australian Olympic Committee President John Coates says the bid faces disaster if the Premier does not attend. Anyone who would threaten this key moment for Queensland simply doesn't have our state's interests at heart. Now, National Senator Matt Canavan was on Sky News this morning, and he does agree that the Premier should travel to Tokyo if this is what it's going to take to seal the deal for Brisbane to host the 2032 Olympic Games. But he said her hypocrisy does deserve to be called out. Take a listen to what he had to say.
I'm happy for the Premier to go to Japan if that's what we need to do to secure the Olympics. I don't want to see the hard work of hundreds of bureaucrats threatened by the Premier's gross hypocrisy over the past week. She should be criticised for that hypocrisy. Perhaps, as others have suggested to me, we should let her go, but she should join the queue, join the queue of other Australians to get back in that she has made longer by her government's inability to manage quarantine properly.
Now, it's worth noting that a federal government representative and Brisbane's Lord Mayor will also be travelling to Tokyo with the Premier to present to the IOC, but neither are mentioned in this petition.
OK, Georgia Simpson, thanks so much.